Good morning. Welcome to the Teachers Club. My name is Dr. Tarun Sharma, and today I will explain about falsification, fabrication, and plagiarism in research. So, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share our Teachers Club channel. Falsification, fabrication, and plagiarism in research are the most essential uh, main parts in the research which should be avoided by the researchers. These slides will be very helpful for the PhD research scholars in any domain, master scholars, and who are carried out the research. So in the starting, I will start with the outline of my slide. First of all, we have introduction, then what is the need of the research, why research ethics, falsification, fabrication, and plagiarism research, what are these, and what are the types of plagiarism, examples of plagiarism, and why it is a problem, and how to avoid the plagiarism. So introduction. So everybody feels that I am a good person. Okay, nobody feels that I am a bad person. So but in terminology of research, it does not mean good people doing always good thing and bad people doing bad things. It's different. Okay, so how it is different and how it deals with the research needs. First of all, what is the research needs? Interest. So if we have an interest in particular domain like science, arts, commerce, engineering, medical sciences, another area of research, and we work in that area. Motivation of doing things, we find some problem and we are going to take care of this one. It's the main motivation. Then next one is the academics infrastructure, or we need a good university or institution where we carry out the research. Administrative support and financial support is also required, which helps to carry out our daily livelihood, and coordinate sports with other subordinates which help us to carry the research. Family level, we should need support from the family. We have to spend so many hours in the labs. Health should be good, and age. So, and it is also, as I said previously, the imperfect people doing the imperfect things for a different reason. People have pressure of the society. We have a pressure from the we later deem wrong, or we have a level wrong, try to justify by taking the shortcuts. We are missing something, especially with a new method or technology. One can become involved in research ethics violation through the wrong of others. Sometimes the right thing to do just is not clear. Self-dissipation and other psychological tendencies. Professional pressure. So in the research, we have a pressure to publish and perish, and we have retaining a job, keeping up with the peers, securing a grant, being a first in discovery. All of these encourage us to the shortcut and misconduct. Okay, so we have a pressure to retain the jobs. In certain academics criteria, we have to publish, and then we are not, results are not coming, and we are not able to publish the papers, and we adopt a shortcut methods. Two aspects of the ethical issue in the research. That is a very important. The individual value of the researcher relating to honesty and frankness and personal integrity. The researcher treatment of other people involved in the research relating to informed, constant, confidentially, and anonymous and courtesy. So that means that is the main ethical issue. The researcher should be honest and have some integrity to its work, and should have confidence in his research, and maintain to uh, peer relation with other peoples also. Means they don't have habit to stolen other works, they don't have a copy to habit of other works. Okay, and why should be there research ethics? Why should be very important? And they promote the aims of the research, such as expanding knowledge. They support the value required for collaborative work, such as mutual respect and fairness. This is essential because scientific research depends upon the collaboration and between researchers and groups, and this means the researcher can be held accountable for their actions. Okay, so this is not very important because we are one part of the world in our technology time, and we can deal with the other peoples also. Okay, and how the other people are working, we should be take care of that, and we by mutual collaboration come to the common point. Many researchers are have public money for their research. They're funding them, and if we do some misconduct or involvement in human and other behavior, so they ensure that public can trust research for people to support and fund research. They have to be confident in it, and then support important social and moral values such as principle of doing no harm to others. There are many things. Okay, so it means that we have a money involved, we have a time involved, and if you could do some false result, other things that will lead to the harm to the society also. That is very dangerous. Now, falsification, fabrication, applied research is the main topic here. So something idea stolen by other. Okay, see this in notation here or pictorial presentation here. So then, what is a falsification? So falsification is a changing or omission of the result data to support the claim hypothesis of other data. Suppose we have going to manipulate the result, and this result is not coming proper way. So we can change the lines and we can produce the same result as the others. And we hadn't done that. We just fabricated, just falsificated. Sorry, and we create a false hypothesis, and that is falsification. And the fabrication is the construction or addition of data, observation or characterization that never occurred in the gathering of data or running of experiment. So this means that we hadn't do the experiment. Okay, we hadn't carried out the experiment, and we know the result should come in this way. And for saving that time, we change the data. Okay, and fabrication occur when the filling out the rest of the experiment runs. For example, claim about a result need to be made on complete data sets, as is normally assumed, where claims made based on incomplete or assumed result in form of the fabrication. Another important part is the plagiarism. Plagiarism is perhaps the most common research misconduct. Researcher must be aware to cite all sources and take careful notes. So falsification and fabrication is similar but little different. And plagiarism, we talk about, it will cover all the things in it. Okay, using or representing the work of others as your own work constitute plagiarism, even if committed unintentionally. And it is important to recognize that plagiarism does not just apply to written work, but essay, reports, dissertation, design, music, or any other work represented for the assessment. Okay, so there are many types of the plagiarism. Okay, so inappropriate authorship, that is, we does not contribute to any publication and put the name there, and duplicate submission, multiple submission, we overlapping of publication. Means overlapping of publication means we do some one big work, and then we later on do the similar producing of the work. And Salamai publication means we have one big work and cut small pieces of that work. And this undisclosed conflict of interest. This undisclosed conflict of interest means we not disclosing the interest, and later on it will be not used properly. A problematic data presentation or analysis, data like in medical science specifically. Types of plagiarism: cut and paste, you cut from here, cut from there, and turn it is as our own work. Patchwork, borrowing, okay, and original without putting the quotation of remarks and citing the authors. Paraphrasing, paraphrasing means change the paragraphs and unintentional self-plagiarism. Self-plagiarism, new word introduced few wax. So we have some of our work and we put same as it is in other part also without changing it. That is a self-plagiarism. And this plagiarism does not means the we only do take care of it. Sometimes the big peoples intentionally or unintentionally has a part of this one. Martin Luther King, very famous person, he just completed his PhD from Boston University in 1955. And after 25 years, somebody discovered that part of his PhD thesis is maybe included in the plagiarism part. And then the big panel discussion is going on, and later on they decide to withdraw the thesis. But at the time, Martin Luther King is no more, so then we will leave that part. Jane Goodall is a very famous wildlife chimpanzee, and she wrote a book in 2013. So then this book has some part of the plagiarism, and later on she accepted and deny hold the publication. Johnny Cash is a famous musician, and 1956 he sang a very famous song. But later on, it's part of the copyright issue. That song. Helen Keller, very short age of 11, he write a short story, and later on, very that age she don't know what is the plagiarism and all the other things. So then she decided to hold the story. And T.S. Eliot, very famous poet, he writes the Wasteland poem in 1922, and later on it's part of the plagiarism. Apple versus Samsung is a very case filled by the Apple on his that Samsung copied his design on various pads, and this fighting going on up to 2018 has settled down very big penalty paid by the Samsung. JC Bose and Marconi, this is not a case of plagiarism, falsification, and uh, plagiarism, falsification, and the thing. But JC Bose and Marconi have used the antenna that is discovered by the JC Bose initially, but JC Bose hadn't claimed anything on this that thing. But Marconi knows all the things as the JC Bose represent his idea in one of the conference in there, and the Marconi present there. And Nakamura, okay, Nakamura is the person who discovered the LEDs and got Nobel Prize for this one, and he put a case in his former employer in Asia, and that they are not giving him copyright and other grants or other funds in research, and he put case to the company. And this is the highest money given by any company to any employer in the world. Nakamura get the very big amount from the company for his discovery. So another Andrew Wakefield vaccine connection. So sometimes the fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism is a deal with the human mankind is very dangerous to the health also. Okay, so Andrew Wakefield case is that 1998 is a physician Andrew Wakefield study in the Lancet, very big journal, and his research the connection between autism and mumps rubella vaccine, and highly respected and confident in the vaccine. Many parents refusing to the shot, and this leads to the increase in case in the US. Okay, so later on, the British General Medical Council found Wakefield guilty of fraud and misconduct. So that's his work not only retracted but also dangerous to human mankind also by claiming falsification of practice by him. This is another work, the Huang Suk stem cell research, Korean researcher, fabricated a series of experiments on stem cell research in the field in which he was once considered one of the pioneer expert, and he was previously famous for his two Science journal article in which he reported success in the creating human embryonic stem cell through cloning, what is now infamous for his massive case of fraud and scientific misconduct after it. And later on he fired from the Seoul National University and fired and fined and go to jail. And this is the University of Malaysia, found a duplicate image of cells, and his PhD student and other researcher. So the paper are detected. Now the plagiarism in India. Okay, according to Hindustan Times in 2016, the Vice Chancellor Chandra Krishnamurthy of Pondicherry University had quit his job after prolonged standoff with the HRD ministry. Okay, allegation that she plagiarized large part of the book. There are many other cases in India also. So this does not mean the plagiarism is only in the European and North American continent also, but it's part of India also. More you publish, the countries which publish more, like USA publishing more, in China publishing more they have chances of the higher plagiarism. Now, why it is a problem? Problem is that it is simply cheating, or to put it more formally, it is a form or academic misconduct or dishonesty, along with the cheating and fabrication. It undermines the whole basis of the scholarly academic values and undermines the academic standard and credibility of awards. Plagiarism also demotivates students who see their efforts as being undermined by the unfair advantage gained by others. And promotion of academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism in higher educational institutions. So, as per the government of India or by UGC, the level 1 similarity of 10%, the minor similarities penalty. Level 1 similarities above 10% to 40%. Such students shall be asked to submit a revised script within a given time period not exceeding 6 months. Level 2, the plagiarism uh, similarities above 40 to 60%. Such student will be departed from the submitting revised thesis. Okay, a similarity above 60%. Such student registered for that program shall be cancelled. So meaning that this should be, you should check your thesis or report your work before submitting. And there are many software which help us to carry out this work. So highlights of UGC, the same draft they sent for the student as well as for the teachers. And this is a very important. Researcher will lose their registration and teachers lose their job if their work are found to be plagiarized. So how we will avoid it? Okay, ensure that work is our own, or either we have self-plagiarism, we should check it properly, or we should use it properly. Avoid plagiarism. How we can avoid the plagiarism? Okay, first, do not copy and paste or restate your own ideas. We should write in our own words and keep track of sources you consult. Use reference softwares. Cite while you write, don't leave it for later. If you leave it later, we can forget, we don't know where the source is there. Paraphrase and you add your own ideas. Quote from the source, give credit where dues, credit original author in the text, use the plagiarism check software. And these are the plagiarism softwares. Various plagiarism software, some are the free, some are the paid. And in the free software, you have some option up to 1000 word, you can check there. And the paid software like a Turnitin and Orkun name is changed and is used by various universities in India here, and Turnitin is also used worldwide. And other software also like a Viper also used worldwide there. So they help to student to check their work or researcher to check their work and from the where data is copied and from how we can reduce that thing. Okay, here I show you one of my example of from the Turnitin software. I write a review article, and initially with the help of the review article author affiliation, I shows their the university name there, and then I remove the university name and references. And I first of all, when the plagiarism is shows to 23%, and then at that time we have author affiliation and references are there, and later on I revise the article and remove the author affiliations and references and correct other part in the work, so I have only 5% plagiarism. That is acceptable. So in the other work, if you see here, even we reproduce the figure from the took the permission from some publishing society. So even we can see that this is covered under the 9 means is the sometime is the after the as the plagiarism report comes. So at the plagiarism report there is a and it shows the content where from where you took it. So 9 means shows the how much percentage of that part. Okay. So 9 is something showing here, then it's showing the source also at the end of the report. You see in the here, if you see here, one first one is the red one here, and this one shows the 1%. This is my paper. So 1% total 9%, still 110% there. So if you took permission, something sometimes in technical language, other language, we can't change the content much more because it's already fixed there. Then in that case we have to use the other languages, or I can say we write as possible as in our language so that this will not overlap. Okay. Then at the end, the pressure to publish Nobel laureate Randy. So it helps to not to pressure. We have pressure to publish to luxury journals and close researcher to cut corners and pursue trendy field of science instead of doing more important work is given by the Randy there. So we have published and we forget what is the important of the actual research work. These are the reference. So we have to cite everything from where we get the data. And thank you. So whatever, alive or dead, it does not matter. If it is your own idea, you must cite your source. And if you like our video, please subscribe. Thank you.